Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I was just thinking about it the other day that my marriage is the one relationship that made me do the most work to become emotionally and mentally stable. Let's talk. So, you know how you have so many emotions, anger, happiness, sadness, and all of that when you're in a relationship? Have you thought about it before that any other relationship you can handle? A romantic relationship triggers upon triggers, okay? It's because, it is a romantic relationship. It's an emotional relationship. So if anything is going to dig out those little things that you do right or wrong, it's going to be that, okay? So for me, mine helped me to see the good and bad of myself. You know how they say do a SWOT analysis on yourself, know your strength, know your weaknesses? I only got to do that when I got married. And so I'm going to help you. Maybe you can learn from my mistakes and all the things I have learned to do better. And you don't have to do this work in your relationships, the romantic ones. You can do this just for life. The first thing I learned about my emotions when I got into marriage was, what are the blocks? What have I told myself to go against? And what are the effects of it? The mental blocks or emotional blocks are the things you tell yourself, me, you can't catch me do that. No, man, do you know me? Me, nobody talks to me like that. Nobody. If you do this, hey, me. You know, you've blocked off because you've set yourself into this box where you are not the type of person they will tell this. You're not the type of person they will do this to. You're not the type of person who reacts to this. Or you're not the type of person who will take this bullshit. Okay. Well, what relationships teach you is that you should be prepared for anything. Okay? You're not the type of person who is slow to anger. This time you're going to have to learn to be. You're not the type of person who will leave an argument on the table. This time you'll learn to be. You're not the type... Actually, you know that thing they say, don't go to bed angry? I was that person. I say, how can we finish a day when we're still angry with each other? When we have not sorted. I am not the type of person. The type of person that I am is that we fix everything in the day. Good for you, Flavia. So you learn that those blocks, those things that you have told yourself this is how you do, have to be thrown out the window. You have to learn, and as I always say, relearn. The second thing, I am right, you are wrong. You know that statement? I am right, you are wrong. Some of you come into relationships being you're right from the day you met this person. You're like, nice to meet you, I love you too, but I am right. Because you will never be wrong again in a relationship. Friend, you are. Every single thing that happens in your relationships, work relationships, romantic ones, whatever it is, two people contribute to whatever has happened. If there's a situation on the table right now, the two of you contributed to it. You did something, he did something. He did something, she did something. He did something, she said something. Friend, you have contributed something to it. And I had to learn how to throw away the I am right, he is wrong. That one. It was hard, it still is hard. Rather than say I am right, you're wrong, or you're wrong, I'm wrong, or the two of us are right, it's what are you saying? What am I saying? Okay, then what's the truth? Because as you know, that's the third guy is always chilling in the relationship, the truth. There's your version, his version, and then the truth. So look at the situation as it is and say, okay, fine. So he was rude, but then also me, I didn't have to also add on to the fire. Yeah? So just am I right and he's wrong? Throw it out the window. Let's talk about also emotional triggers. You know your triggers. You know your partner or spouse's triggers, or you know your boss's triggers, your colleagues. You know that for Flavia, we will be fine. There'll be so much peace until you call her out of her name. You say the B word, the F word, whatever, she will turn and say, excuse you. So you know those are the triggers. So what happens? Every time there's an argument, you call her the B word. Because you know it will take her from 0 to 100. That's what happens in relationships. We have triggers. And unfortunately for us, the people we are dating, the people we work with, the people we live with, they know these triggers. Because they've seen you over time. So they know there are certain things that trigger you off, and they know. You also know. So don't use it to your advantage in an argument. So I had to learn that there are triggers. There's mine. I learned what mine were. I learned in an argument what normally sets me off. Is it when he says you don't understand? I'm like, what do you mean I don't understand? As in, I went to school. You mean Me, I don't understand. Then you're growing. So you know, certain statements said will throw me off, or certain actions will throw me off. But also learn the other person's triggers and don't use them to bully the other person. In fact, if anything, use them to help the relationship, okay? Then the other thing which might surprise you is the communal decisions. A lot of us, when we're in relationships and we're on an emotional roller coaster, we involve everybody else except the person who it's about. So you start to say, friend, if your partner, and you know how we are when we want to get advice, let me tell you, girlfriend, would you, if you were in a situation and your man refused to pick up your call, what would you do? Twice! He has not picked up. Then your friend is like, twice? Me, I text you once, you blue tick me, you're dumped. You're like, eh. Now, because you respect this person, you're going to think that's how people you respect or people like you do it. You're going to end the relationship. Those communal decisions, friend, nah. If you want to rid yourself of an emotional roller coaster, learn to make your own decisions. Yes, even in anger, even in situations you don't understand, learn to look within yourself and say, okay, you know what, that pissed me off. That doesn't feel right, but it doesn't feel right for you. Somebody else won't understand it. When you say the situation to them, they're going to give you advice based on them, on their life. So those communal decisions of my best friends will tell me how they would have done it and that's how I would do it. Don't. Those will only in fact break you. So in emotions, you want emotional stability. Everybody else, what others think, throw it. What do you think? What do you want? What do you want out of the situation? How do you feel about the situation? I don't like it. Then that's the answer. Don't ask, but what do you, okay? I hope I helped. I'm also still a what? Work in progress.